Today we're talking about mega open houses. Now I know that this is a change of pace from what we typically cover in this channel, which is mostly online lead generation, but I think that there's enough interest in open houses, specifically mega open houses, and how to actually do them appropriately so you can actually get real estate leads. And some of the reasons that I really like open houses is because they're relatively inexpensive to do, along with it gives you the opportunity to get in front of clients that are ready, willing, and able to buy a house. And another huge reason to like open houses is because historically open houses have some of the highest conversion rates around when you compare it to other real estate lead generation strategies. So make sure to stay to the end to find out how. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. So today we're covering mega open houses and how to actually make them successful, because oftentimes, believe it or not, we as real estate agents focus more on the food than the actual pre-work performance and the follow-up necessary to make mega open houses work for you. So we're not going to talk about food, we're not going to talk about drinks, we're not going to talk about smells, aroma, and music in this particular video. Are those important? Sure, they might have their place, but at the end of the day, I want to get very tactical with you. Because as mentioned, in order to have a successful open house, you need some pre-work, you need the execution, and you need some follow-up in order to convert your real estate leads at a high level. So first, let's start off with terminology. Notice that I'm using the word mega open house together. I'm not just calling it an open house. Open houses are normal, they're traditional, they're just, they're okay. But if you attach mega open house, that gives it a different meaning. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. What makes them a mega open house?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Anything can be a mega open house, so stop calling them open houses and start addressing them as mega open houses and see the difference. Now when it comes to the best times to host your mega open houses, that's generally when they just listed or when they had a price reduction. There's generally a good amount of buzz on that home with those two events. Now this doesn't mean that that's the only time that you host a mega open house, but generally that's when you have the most momentum on that particular property. Now of course, most of the open houses happen on Saturday and Sundays and on some holidays. It just depends on the holiday and also if the home is vacant or not, because chances are that if the home is not vacant, then the actual family that is trying to sell the home is actually there celebrating the holiday. So most of the time you're looking at Saturdays and Sundays when you want to host your mega open house. Now the traditional duration varies from 2 hours to 4 hours. It just depends how many mega open houses you want to have in that day and in that weekend, but generally you can expect 2 to 4 hours. Now with that being said, one of those hours you want to allocate to what I call the neighborhood hour. This 1 hour is exclusive for those people that live in that neighborhood. So this works best if you personally invite the neighbors around the home. This means that you would be door knocking in the particular neighborhood that you're gonna host the open house and invite them to the neighborhood hour. So this means that several days prior, you're gonna be knocking on the doors of that neighborhood, inviting them to the open house. Now that's part of your pre-work, and I understand that some of you are gonna go out there and do some door knocking, and that's gonna be awesome. Some of you are gonna be doing circle prospecting because you have the data of that neighborhood, and that's also gonna be awesome. But something else that you absolutely wanna do is run some Facebook ads. The Facebook ad that you wanna run is the mega open house ad. This ad ensures that people give you their name, their email, and their phone number long before the mega open house even happens. And if you're interested in that ad copy, just email me at admin@JaimeResendiz.com and make sure that you put mega open house ad in the subject line so I know what to send you. So once you have that ad copy, try to launch your campaigns on Wednesdays. And the reason I suggest Wednesdays is because you want to give Facebook enough time to approve the ads. So this gives you a bit of time to troubleshoot just in the event that they reject your ads. So then you can make some modifications. But at the end of the day, you want your ads to run all day Friday. So again, we're talking about getting them warmed up or getting them approved on Wednesday, but assuming that they get approved, you go ahead and pause them and launch them on Friday. And you're gonna leave that ad on all the way until you leave the open house. So you want that ad to continue pumping leads into your database until you close shop. And something else you absolutely do not want to miss is going down to the bottom of this video and smashing like. Okay, so we're still talking about pre-work, and this part of the equation is something that you're very familiar with, and this is the open house signs. You want as many open house signs as possible. You can never have too much. You want to make sure that you have signs on all of the entrances to the neighborhood, but you really want to have signs on all of the roads that have a lot of traffic on them, because you want to pull as many people into the neighborhood as possible, because there's going to be people that are going to be driving by that have no interest in going into the neighborhood because they don't have any business in the neighborhood. So they're not going to know that, hey, I should probably go check out this open house, because they're driving on their way to the store, they're driving on their way to wherever, and they have no business in your neighborhood. So if you only blanket the entrances to the neighborhood, then you're missing out. You can also use that time to make some YouTube videos. Again, just be productive with your time and keep that momentum. Now you can capture people's information, aka collect leads, in many different ways, but what I suggest is using an app. Now there's too many apps for me to mention, so I'll make sure that I link a few down below. But if you happen to have a very robust CRM, chances are that they have an open house app just for that CRM. As an example, kvCORE has an open house app that directly integrates into itself. So this means that whenever somebody signs in at your open house, that contact information goes immediately to your CRM. Now there's many different ways that you can get people to sign in to your mega open house, but here are just a few. 1, you can ask people to sign in for security purposes. 2, you can ask people to sign in for a quick survey. And 3, you can ask people to sign in for a raffle. Now, assuming you've done the pre-work and you've done the actual open house, now is the time to follow up. Now is the time that you want to strike while the iron is hot. So make sure that whenever you're scheduling your Saturday or scheduling your Sunday, make sure that you give yourself ample time after the mega open house to follow up. So as soon as you're closing up that house, make sure that you're sending every single person that signed into your app a personalized video thanking them for coming by. And this is something that you want to do before you pick up your signs. I understand that you're running a risk of the signs being stolen, and I also understand that you're running a risk of the city picking them up, but that's the cost of doing business. You want to follow up before you actually pick up the signs. And also, the quicker that you follow up with the people that signed into your mega open house, the more likely that they're going to respond to you, and the likelihood of them being in the neighborhood increases dramatically. So if they happen to be in the neighborhood and they see another yard sign right down the street and they're interested in seeing that home, well, how fortuitous it is that you're calling them because you happen to be in the area and you can help them out. Well, now you know more about mega open houses and how to actually make them work for your business. It's time to get to work and run some ads. So I'll leave a video right here that's gonna help you do that. Also, if you found value today, please be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And of course, make it your best day yet.